Welcome or welcome back. I have been teaching a lot of classes recently on heavy energy building and breath building, and this time I just really felt like taking it down a notch and just getting into our breath and just sort of being a little more present and a little more just dropping in. So you'll want a Theraband. I have I guess this is a blue, a heavier weight Theraband, maybe more medium. A green would probably be good too. But whatever you have, we can make do. And we'll get started. So keeping the Theraband close by, in fact, let's just drape it across our stomach. I'm going to let my arms come down by my side. My knees will be about hip distance apart, feet hip distance apart. And just take a big inhale here. And exhale. And then on the next inhale, think of breathing into the entire back body. And then as we exhale, think of sinking down even deeper. And inhale. And exhale. One more big breath like that. And exhale. Now this time, let's take the Theraband and just hold it so it's centered in between the middle of the Theraband. My arms are just going to have a little bit of outward energy into the band just to feel a little bit of tension. We're going to inhale, breathe into the back body again, thinking of just kind of reaching the arms up. And then exhale, let everything come down. Inhale, breathing into the back body, reaching the arms up. And exhale. Two more like that. Inhale. And exhale. And last two. Inhale. And exhale. Now on this next one, we're going to inhale. Keep that little bit of outer energy as we float the arms up overhead on the inhale. Exhale, think of the ribs almost initiating the movement of floating the arms up above the chest. Bringing the arms all the way down to the hips. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. One last time. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. And now let's inhale the arms up. Hold it here. As we exhale, I want you to take the arms down and start to lift the hips up in opposition. Pressing down into the quads with the Theraband and pushing up into the Theraband with the quads. And then we'll soften the spine, floating the arms up over the head as we roll ourselves back down. Inhale. Exhale, we imprint the low back. Start to peel the hips up as the arms float down simultaneously. The arms are going to press the Theraband down into the quads, quads up into the Theraband. Inhale, reaching the arms up as we soften the spine and lower back down with control. Inhale. Exhale, we lift. Arms come up and over to the hips. Inhaling at the top. Exhale, softening the spine, arms come up and over the head, relaxing the tailbone at the same time as the hands touch. Inhale. Last one, exhale, we imprint and scooping and lifting, arms come down, pressing into the quads with the hands. And exhale, soften the spine and we roll back down with control. Keeping the arms up and over the head, the back ribs are going to sink. We're going to feel that little bit of energy into the Theraband, but you're not working very hard up there. Just Feeling active engagement. Taking an inhale, we're gonna exhale, lift the right leg to tabletop. Inhale, lower that leg down, and exhale, lift it up for 5. Exhale, 4. Thinking every time I lift and lower, my back ribs are trying to stay equally weighted from right to left on the mat. Last time. 1. Inhale, lower that leg down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, we lift the left leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, last time. Exhale, we lift. Inhale, lower. Now exhale, lift the right leg up. Inhale and exhale, lift the left leg to join it. Inhale and exhale, float the arms up to the sky, feeling that little bit of extra energy out. We're gonna open the left arm as the knees go over to the right. We're gonna exhale, come back through center. Inhale the knees to the left, the right arm opens out to the side. Exhale, come back through center. Inhaling over, just feeling that stability in the body, using the Theraband to help stabilize even more. Inhaling over. Exhale, come back through. Inhaling over. Exhale, come back through. Holding that connection here, I'm going to take my knees up into the Theraband, but then I'm going to let my right leg push into the Theraband. So my left leg is pushing up, my right leg is pulling in. I'm going to lower my right leg down, and I'm going to push it into the Theraband. Lower my right leg down, push it into the Theraband. So as I lower my leg, I'm pushing my opposite leg into the band up towards the ceiling. And as I lift the leg that's moving up and down, it's pulling against the Theraband in opposition. We're going to go 3 more. And 2. And last one. Push that knee up. Take the opposite knee leg against. I'm utilizing that connection. I lower my leg down and lift and pull it into the Theraband. Lower down and lift, pull it in. Inhale, pushing into that opposite leg to stabilize and feeling connection in that right oblique to help support the pelvis. Last 2. And last 1. And bring your knees back underneath. Now my hands are going to stay pressing down, so I have feedback into my Theraband. I'm going to pull the knees in and think of pushing into the Theraband and right back down. So it's not a big movement, so I pull my knees in, little push and right back down. Pulling the knees in, little push and right back down. Last 3 and 2. Last 1. And now we take the band underneath the hamstrings. I'm going to change the grip on my arms. So my arms are going to lift up above my head. I'm going to lower my legs down to tap the floor, feeling the hamstrings support me. Lift my legs back up with control. So I float my legs down and lift my legs back up. Floating my legs down, reminding myself that by pushing into the Theraband, I'm encouraging my hamstrings to work, my low belly to kick on, and I can really keep my back ribs and my sacrum grounded. Inhale, exhale up. We're going to go 3 more. 3, and we get to do a little shoulder flexor support. And 2. And last 1. Back up. We take the arms down, 1 leg down at a time. We'll remove the Theraband, put it back in between the hands. The legs are going to extend out, lifting the arms up and over the head. Inhale, we're gonna lift the arms up. The head, neck, and chest are gonna follow. I'm gonna feel that outward energy into the band. Exhale, dive myself up and over. I'm gonna wrap the band around my toes. Arms are gonna grow, or stay nice and long. I'm gonna grow nice and tall. I'm gonna scoop my pelvis and roll myself back with control. So now I have this nice bit of heavy tension attached to my arms to help initiate my lift and just help me find a little more fluidity and lengthen my spine. Inhaling, exhale, we dive up and over and curling it back. So I'm just finding that stretch through my lumbar, that engagement of my low belly, that articulation of my spine. We're gonna go 3 more. And that Theraband is just such a nice little additional support. So it just feels more flowy, more fluid. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now I'm going to take my left foot out of the Theraband. I'm going to lift my right foot up to the sky. I'm going to make sure I have a nice connection on the full top of the foot. I'm going to give that Theraband a nice little tug and give my stretch through my hamstring. So I'm going to think of really pushing my heel up to the ceiling as my back ribs sink and my opposite leg is pressing down onto the mat. We're going to inhale, let the leg lower down, circle around and up. So it's just this inhale circle and exhale circle. But my thought is as I circle my leg, I want to almost feel like the Theraband is pushing my femur and keeping it just moving inside the hip socket. So as I move around, it should be very fluid inside the hip. And my rest of my body shouldn't have to work super, super hard to move the leg. It should be nice and stable. Holding it at the top, we're going to reverse. It's just a really nice way to kind of lubricate the hip joint. Keep things nice and mobile, especially if you've been sitting a lot all day. Inhale, circle. Exhale, circle. 2 more. Inhale, circle. Exhale, circle. And last time, inhale, circle. Exhale, circle. Hold it at the top. Push the heel up to the ceiling. Pull the leg 1 more inch towards your head. And I'm going to let this Theraband go only in my left hand. My right arm's going to open out to the side. I'm going to let the leg draw across my body and keep that connection. And now all I'm going to do is while my leg's across, I'm going to set my femur into my hip socket a little bit more. I'm going to think of rotating my toes towards the floor as I rotate my heel or my sitting bone towards my right inner thigh. Getting that nice stretch on the outer aspect of the hip, maybe into the IT band a little bit. And then we'll lift the leg up towards the ceiling. My right hand's going to hold the Theraband. My left arm's going to open out to the side. I'm going to hold my mat here. And then as I open out my leg, I want to think of pulling my femur into the hip socket again, so it feels like it's kind of shifting into me to open the leg, and that will keep my opposite leg nice and grounded and my body as grounded as it can be as I take some of that weight away from me. And then this time I'm going to think of my knee and my toe rotating towards the floor. So we should now be getting a stretch through a little more of the front of the pelvis, that inner leg line, adductors, maybe that inside of the hamstring. Then we'll bring that leg up towards the ceiling. I'm just going to separate the Theraband enough to let my left leg come in or my foot come in. I'm going to take my right foot down to the mat, slide it away. I want to keep a pretty decent choke up onto the Theraband because I want it to feel really nice and strong, like I'm actually having assisted weight into my hip socket. So we're going to reach up through that heel while simultaneously feeling the weight of the femur settling into the hip. I'm going to draw the leg across the body and around and up on an inhale, and then on an exhale, circle. So inhale, we circle. Exhale, we circle. Inhale, we circle. Exhale, we circle. In and X. In and X. And you'll notice I'm keeping my upper arm bones down. I don't want my arms swinging around because it doesn't really give me as much control as if I keep that foundation grounded here. Going away from the body now, we circle. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last 2 rounds. Inhale. And exhale. Last big round. Inhale. And exhale. We hold it at the top. I'm going to choke up just a little bit higher. I'm going to push my heel up to the ceiling and pull my leg a little bit closer towards my head. Get that nice stretch through the hamstring. And then grab the Theraband with your right hand now. The other hand's going to either go out to a T or holding the side of your mat. And I'm going to start to draw the leg across my body. So you'll notice I'm actually letting my hip lift, which is okay. I want it to kind of get me there first. Then I set my femur into my hip socket, which surprisingly challenges that stretch almost a little more. And then I think of my femur bone rotating open, thinking sitting bone to inner thigh, while I simultaneously rotate my toe towards the floor. So we're kind of wringing out a rag here from the lower leg to the upper. Let's go one more big breath here. We'll lift that leg up to the sky. My left hand's going to hold the Theraband. My right arm's going to open out to the side. Again, I want to think of the Theraband pulling my femur into my hip as I spiral, open my leg out to the side. It keeps my right hip a little more anchored onto the mat. And then I can open more through the front of my pelvis too. And then if you have the ability to spiral the femur bone open and let the knees and the toes rotate more to the floor, that would be great. One more big breath. We'll float that leg back up to the sky. I'm going to take that foot out, let the legs come down. Hold that Theraband. We'll nod the chin, curl ourselves up and over. And we'll take that Theraband back around, and then what we'll do is we're going to open the feet the distance of the mat. And then we're going to give yourself as much stretch in that Theraband as you can. So the more I can tighten up on the Theraband, the better. And then I'm going to take my Theraband and I'm going to cross it, and just for a little extra support. We're going to pull the arms out to the side, or elbows, and then we're going to take the arms forward. We're going to pull the elbows out to the side and take the arms forward, pull the arms out to the side, take the arms forward, and last time, pull the arms out to the side, hold it here. I'm going to pull my arms even more, lifting my sternum up, finding a little supported upper back extension, and take my arms down and forward. So now I pull, lift my sternum, back, take my arms forward, last 2, pull, extend up, take my arms forward. Pull back, extend up, bring it back, take the arms forward. We're going to let the Theraband uncross. We're going to, once again, continue to pull up as much tension as we can. I'm going to nod my chin towards my chest. I'm going to roll it forward. Inhale here. Exhale, I'm going to pull against the Theraband. So that little bit of weight is really for my way up. I'm going to use that to re-stack my spine. So I'm gonna nod my chin. Exhale, curl it forward. I'm gonna choke up on my straps just a little bit more towards my feet. Inhale, and then exhale, we curl it back up with control. So having that little bit of supported weight as we come up is giving me the capability of using my upper back extensors a little more easily with the feedback. Last two, I nod, I reach it forward. Inhale, pause. Exhale, pull the belly in. Use the weight to allow the belly and the back to work together and grow nice and tall. Let's go ahead and take the strap away. We're gonna come on to all fours. So what we're gonna do is I wanna take my Theraband and I'm gonna put it around my rib cage underneath my arms. Then what I'm gonna also do is I wanna take the Theraband so it's underneath my hands like so, and then I'm gonna rest my hands onto the mat. So I have a nice connection where I'm not having to grip a lot in my hand, and I have that tension into my mid-back and kind of right just around the center of my rib cage. I'm gonna take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, I'm gonna push my ribs up into the Theraband and pull my belly up and in. And then inhale, I'm gonna come back to neutral. Exhale, I'm gonna think of continuing that little bit of pressure into the ribs, but I'm also gonna take my sternum forward. So I'm gonna come back to neutral. I'm gonna exhale, push my ribs up into my Theraband, belly pulls up and in. I'm gonna come back through center. And then I'm gonna keep the connection into the ribs as I take my sternum forward. So by continuing to keep the connection into the back ribs, it helps me fire my serratus a little bit more, that muscle underneath my arms, which assists us with pushing movements. And then back through center. It's a really great muscle for our shoulder girdle to support keeping the shoulder blades a little more in a neutral position so they don't over adduct and wing. So we're trying to challenge that flush scapula on the rib cage, and then inhale, extend it back. Now I'm gonna come back to neutral. I'm gonna keep my right hand still. I'm gonna open my knees just a little bit more for stability. I'm gonna take my right arm, holding onto the Theraband. I'm gonna lift my arm up to the sky. I almost feel like the Theraband's assisting me. I'm gonna take my arm down. I'm gonna continue to go down as I bend my opposite elbow to go into a thread the needle. I'm gonna use my tricep of my right arm to come back through. I'm gonna lift my arm up to the sky. I'm gonna come back through the center. I'm gonna sweep underneath as I bend my elbow, reaching my sitting bones back. I'm gonna push up through my right arm and open back up to the sky. One more like that on this side. Underneath, we bend and twist. Back up and come to center. We'll do that all on the other side. So I'm gonna take my right arm up this time. I'm gonna spiral open. I'm gonna come through, threading the needle, bend that elbow to come down and stretch. Pressing up, spiraling open. Come back through, reach down and stretch. We'll go one more on this side. Coming back up, spiraling open. And back through, bending that elbow and stretching. I could just stay here, but we'll keep moving. And then come back up and through. Take those hands down. Now, we're in this nice position where my shoulders are able to really press up into or my ribs are really able to press up into the Theraband. So let's use that here. We'll take one leg back, other leg back, hold it. Now we're just gonna push into the Theraband again and let it go. Into the Theraband again and let it go. 3 more. Into the Theraband and let it go. Last 2, we go into the Theraband and let it go. And you'll notice as I'm breathing and pushing into my Theraband, I'm trying not to change the position of my eyes and my chest. And then take one knee down, other knee down. Again, we're staying in this position. I'm going to switch to my fists so I have a little more range of motion for my hands. I'm going to keep this connection. I'm just going to lift my right arm up and bring it down. I'm going to reach my left arm up and bring it down. So I'm still getting that connection into my Theraband here with the way I have the twist of the Theraband around my arm, so it's underneath my armpit. So as I lift up, I'm still using that upward position, and the Theraband's actually providing a little bit of resistance for me. And lifting that left arm up and bring it down. Right arm up and bring it down. Left arm up and bring it down. Last one to each side. I didn't already say that. Bring it back to center, and we'll take the Theraband away. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Theraband doubled up. You can kneel or you can stand for this one. Having my arms or my hands holding just the width of the Theraband. It doesn't have to be a really, you're not really pushing too much against it. Again, I'm just doing this for energy work, just a little outward engagement. So I'm gonna float my arms up above my head, feeling that outer energy. I'm gonna bend my elbows and just take the band right kind of to the back of the head. I'm gonna think about where my ribs are in space. I'm gonna take my arms right back up and lower them down. So it's an up. I'm bending my elbows to get the band right to the back of my head. And then I go up and lower down. Now I'll turn so you can kind of see my side body view. So I lift my arms up. My biggest challenge here is I'm trying not to take my ribs forward, to take my hands behind me or my Theraband behind me. So maybe my ponytail's slightly in the way, or it's actually being a benefit of knowing how far back I'm going. Last one like this. Back up and bring it down. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the Theraband so it's nice and like a little less tension, so I have it singled out. And I'm gonna be a little wider than shoulder distance apart. I'm gonna take my arms up over my head. Now this is where I wanna think I want my shoulders to be able to move, but what I don't want is my ribs to splay forward. So I'm gonna lift, I'm gonna let my shoulders get up and high and down and back as I open out to the side to let my arms get all the way over my head. And I'm gonna lift my arms up, let the Theraband be mobile, and come on down. So when I lift my arms, I don't want to think I have to set my shoulders. That actually makes it not easy to move my shoulders. So I want to lift my shoulders up, create that opening. Think of my ribs now staying nice and stable as I open my arms back and down. I'm going to lift them back up, getting that stretch through the front of the chest. 3 more. So I lift up, I open out and back behind me, I lift up, and I bring myself down. Last 2, up, reach it back, and up, and reach it forward. And final one, we lift up, reach it back, up, and reach it forward. I'm gonna take the hands now, or the Theraband now, and I'm gonna take it underneath my arms again. So it's right underneath my armpit. I'm gonna take it so it's wrapped around my arms like so. So I'm kind of twisting it around my whole body, and I'm gonna reach my shoulder blades apart. So I'm really thinking of one hand going in one direction, one hand going in the other. So it's almost like someone's pulling me apart. I'm gonna rotate my palms up to the ceiling. I'm gonna twist to one direction and really feel that opening through the shoulders. So I'm not so much pulling back as I'm reaching out and then back through center. I'm gonna twist to the other side, thinking of almost pushing my biceps into that Theraband, reaching apart and back through center. 2 more to each side, twisting open and back through center and twisting open. Ribs are drawing against my Theraband as I twist and back through center. 1 more in each direction. I twist, back through center, and final one. And back through center, unravel, take those arms up, and we'll come to kneeling. So I have my arms, once again, up above my head. I want to have a little bit of mobility in the Theraband, so again, I'm not doubled up. I'm going to take an inhale, I'm going to side bend over to one side. The bottom arm is going to reach down and give me a little bit of extra stretch in that side body. I'm going to take my arm back up and then use my side body to lift me. I go over to the other side. The bottom arm is going to come down to give me that extra bit of stretch. The arm is going to come back up. Now I have to use my obliques to flex me back up to center. So inhale over, reach that arm out, bring it back up, exhale back through center, inhale over, exhale down, inhale the arm comes back up, then exhale the rest of the body comes up. Final one to each side. I inhale over, I exhale down, inhale arm up only, exhale through center, inhale over, exhale I reach that arm down, inhale just the arm comes back up, exhale I come back through center, taking my arms down. We're gonna go and end up on our bellies. We're going to take the arms out in front. Again, I'm not doubling up in my strap at all. I'm just having my arms opening out to the side. Again, getting that outward energy. I'm going to just let my hands kind of slide. So I'm going to start to draw my shoulders down my back. I'm going to lift my head, neck, and chest up. So I'm just going to continue to slide my arms up. And then exhale, slide them away and lower. So I keep that energy out in my Theraband. I'm going to start to slide my hands down the mat. Eyes, nose, chin, neck, chest come up. I'm going to slide up a little bit more, keeping that outward energy in my band. Exhale, lower it down, and then lower my head, neck, and chest down. So shoulders first. Eyes, nose, chin, neck, chest. Slide up, keeping that outer energy. Slide back down and lengthen out. Last 2, it's in sliding first. Eyes, nose, chin, neck, chest. Slide the rest of the way. Bring it back down. Lower your body down, and final one. Shoulders, head, neck, and chest. Feeling upper back body fire. I slide up the rest of the way. Bring it back down. Everything else lowers. We'll let that Theraband go. Take our bodies up and back into a little rest position. Take 2 more deep breaths into that entire back body. So we inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale one last time. Exhale, we bring it up. And hopefully you guys will feel a little more loose and open after that. And we will see you next time. Have a great day.